All right. Hey, everyone. Hustlers, what is up? It is Bulletproof Monday. My name is Susan Sly, and I am so excited to see you here. Or maybe you're listening to this podcast on iTunes or on the Susan Sly Project, whatever brought you here. I don't believe there are any accidents. And today we're going to be talking about the value in cleaning things up before the end of the year. So when I do Bulletproof Monday, I'm speaking on 3 different topics: mindset, money, and marketing. And today we're going to talk about mindset, because I really firmly believe that you can't be the same person in a new year and expect new results. And I'm going to say that again. You can't be the same person in a new year and expect new results. If you're having a lot of baggage of things you haven't cleaned up and you're taking that into the new year, you're going to have the same experience that you did this past year. So if you had fear, if you had anxiety, if your business was flat, whatever was going on, don't expect that things are going to get better unless you clean things up. And you might need to clean up relationships. You might need to clean up some financial things. You might need to clean up some other business things, whatever it is. We're going to deal with it. In fact, I'm going to walk you through 5 steps to cleaning it up so you can go into 2020 with a sense of abundance and ease and grace. How many of you would like to attract more abundance and prosperity into your lives next year? Just say yes in the chat, right? I know I would. And I want to, just say from the bottom of my heart that, what I want for you as someone who tunes into Bulletproof Monday, or perhaps someone shared this with you, I want 2020 to be the best year you've ever had. And it can be very easy to sort of get caught up with the holidays and be like ordinary folks who say, I'll do it in January. I'll lose the weight in January. I will clean up my marriage in January. I will, generate more leads. I'll follow up more. I'll get more clients in January. Well, no, you won't. Because if you're bringing those habits with you, if you're bringing all of that emotional garbage with you, you're not going to have a better year. And that's the last thing I want for you. I want you to have a blessed life, an abundant life, and we're going to get right into it. And you might be wondering, well, where did today's topic come from? This past year, I was looking back on the year and reflecting as I do, and there have been a lot of blessings, but I found myself, especially by September, in a state of anxiety, in a state of fear. I just felt so out of alignment. And, if you tune into the show regularly, I'm not a person that holds back. There are a lot of personal empowerment trainers. I am a certified life coach that won't tell you stuff. I am the first person who will tell you stuff. And I found myself, my temper was short. I wasn't sleeping through the night. And, and I realized that I was looking at some of the things that had happened in my own life. My mom dying. My mom was an addict. So for the last couple of years of her life, I didn't have a relationship with her. It was really hard to be in a relationship with someone who, and maybe some of you are going through that. You have a child, you have a spouse, you have a sister, a brother, a parent who's got addictions, and you've tried everything. You've spent money and you've put them into rehab and you've done all those things. And I did all those things, but you can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. So I was carrying a lot of guilt around that, to be very, very candid. And I was in a place where all I could do was pray. And when I was, at the point where I was so ready just to forgive and allow and be clear, that's when I found out she had passed. So I had that going on. I had some other things going on in my personal life. And I just felt there was no other way to describe it. I just felt so out of aligned. And I had been the person who was a mega manifester. I never worried about money. I never worried about new clients or customers. I didn't have any of that. And that same Susan who could manifest anything. I could, literally wake up on Monday and go, I want to surprise $2,500, and it would just appear like that. I get, whatever, a speaking event, a surprise check in the mail, something. Suddenly I couldn't manifest anything. And how many of you have been there? And it was so challenging. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't even know who you are. So I went through a period of time, probably I would say in the last 8 weeks, where I made a decision that I wanted to realign and I wanted to have that healing and I wanted to clean things up. And I can tell you that since I embarked on that journey, and I'll go through the steps with you, that this last part of the year has been the best part of the year. Unexpected money, unexpected clients, opportunities, speaking events. Next week, I am speaking at the Global Chamber of Commerce event here in Phoenix. I'm one of 25 speakers. It's an amazing opportunity. I found myself getting to meet Steve Forbes. Being interviewed on Casey Adams' podcast show. He has people on like, Dean Graziosi and, like this whole list of amazing people. Casey was just at my house for dinner last night. Anyway, so all these things started happening because I was cleaning it up. And I know some of you have stuff to clean up. How many of you know you have something to clean up? You know. Right? Teresa is like, yes, she does. How many of you have something to clean up, a relationship to clean up? Maybe there's some forgiveness to happen. Maybe you haven't filed taxes in 3 years. You've got to clean that up. Maybe you're not feeling good about a relationship. Maybe you made a decision to be in a relationship. It could be a personal relationship, a business relationship, and that it's if you took 100% responsibility, it isn't about that person, that situation. It's that you're no longer that person who entered into that agreement. When we're out of alignment, not only are we more stressed, we're anxious, it affects our health, our immune system goes down, we might gain weight, we might lose weight, we get irritable, we procrastinate, we withdraw, we have apathy, we doubt ourselves. And if you're experiencing any of that, then chances are you are out of alignment. And the best thing you can do, the best gift you can give yourself is not a Louis Vuitton handbag, is not a new Tesla. The best gift you can give yourself is to clean things up. So I'm going to give you 5 steps to cleaning things up. And again, I'm never the person who's going to tell you just do this, do this, do this. I'm on the journey with you. Some of you have reached out to me personally to try and hire me as a coach. I do not do private coaching anymore. I used to, and again, I'm certified and I love it. I don't. But in January, I will be starting a community group, and the community will be a private community. It is going to have the 3 M's: marketing, mindset, and money. We're going to have special guest speakers. It's going to be very exclusive. We're going to do meetups here in Phoenix. It's going to be beautiful. I'm going to be mentoring you every single week. At the beginning of every month, as a community, we're going to set goals for ourselves. We're going to get accountability partners. It's going to be powerful. So that's going to start in January. You cannot join it now, but if you go to susansly.com, you get on the list, you'll get the invitation. And so this is going to be just a beautiful year ahead. And for those of you who love that coaching, love to have a coach, it's going to make someone like me who used to charge $2,000 a month for coaching very, very accessible to you. So that is coming. I want to let you know. All right, so let's get into it. The first step in cleaning it up is to identify honestly what must be cleaned up. And that's getting clear with yourself. So what really needs to be cleaned up? And it can't be ambiguous. It has to be concrete. Cleaning up your taxes, your year-end accounting, a toxic relationship, your marriage, whatever it is, your health. What has to be cleaned up? And there probably are more than, just a couple of things. It might be a list. So what I did yesterday, I took a big 3M Post-it sheet and I wrote out 10 things to clean up. And just being, again, very, very clear. I am not a procrastinator. So it isn't about I haven't filed taxes. I have, believe me, filed my share of taxes and I'm all caught up and all of that's all good. but there are personal things for me that are remaining to clean up. There are business things for me that are remaining to clean up, because again, going into 2020, what I want for you is you go, oh my gosh, this is an amazing year. I'm so excited, best year to date. And that's what I want for myself. And that's what I want for my family, right? So just being crystal clear on what those things are. Number two is verbalizing your intention to lovingly clean things up. So it's one thing to think about it. It's another thing to speak it. Because when we speak something, we own it. And if you want something to have a reasonable outcome, you've got to take responsibility about whatever it is. So how do you do that? I have a couple of examples for you. So, you know, some of you say the universe, and I say God. So I'm going to just say God, and you can interject whatever it is that you want to interject there. So you might say something like this: God, I ask for your help in lovingly cleaning up, healing, transforming the situation, whatever it is, and name the situation, specifically state it. You might say, if it's your marriage, you might say something like, God, I ask for your help in lovingly healing my marriage. And it's just being open. And maybe it's your body. You know, some of you have beautiful souls, but you fill this void with food. You stuff your emotions down, and you're trying to bury those past hurts and those past pains. That is a void that cannot be filled with food. When I ran Have It All Women's retreats, I had a lot of women who carried weight just around their abdomens, and their legs were very slender, their arms were very slender, but they had a lot of abdominal weight. And often these women were repressing something, old hurts, old wounds, pain, something, and you know, stuffing the emotions with Ben and Jerry's or Doritos or McDonald's or whatever it is. Whatever you try and suppress is going to be expressed, my friends, in another way. You can't stuff your emotions with food. So let's say it's your health. Then you might say something like this: God, I lovingly ask for your help in cleaning up my issues around food, right? So it's asking for help, it's naming it, it's claiming it. And I know sometimes it's painful to admit we have an issue, we have an addiction to self-sabotage, to chaos, to financial chaos, whatever it is. But the moment we speak it and we claim it, we actually take away the power of that thing over our lives. Because when you speak it, you own it. And when you own something, now you have the ability to choose. Yes? Does that make sense? But if you're not taking responsibility and you're kind of like, oh, that thing's over there, I don't really have a problem with overeating, I don't really have a problem with anorexia, with bulimia, with overspending, whatever it is, the addiction, the chaos, the infidelity, whatever it is, you're not owning it, and it owns you. So write this down: whatever you don't own owns you. And you are not going to have a breakthrough year in 2020 if you still have food owning you, and addictions owning you, and chaos owning you, and sabotage owning you. And you know, there's a school of thought out there about cleaning up conversations, and you know, you have to go to everyone that hurt you and you have to tell them they hurt you. No, you don't. That is just the most arrogant, egomaniacal nonsense on the planet. The way you take away the power of someone who has hurt you is you forgive them and you move on. That's how you do it. And you don't need to call them out. You don't need to do any of that. You just forgive them and move on. Now they don't have power over you because you claimed it and you own it, which means you have the choice. Okay, I'm preaching a little bit today. All right. So number three, so you've claimed it. Now, again, I was kind of touching on this, is asking for help. I kind of got carried away there. I know. I kind of, you know, as an aside, I kind of look at I'm never going to retire. Retiring is not for me, but what would that next iteration of my career be, after the exit, after, all of angel investing? Maybe it's ministry. I don't know. Who knows? Number 3 is asking for God's help to align you. Okay. So now that you've shared your intention, it's asking for help. And when I asked for help, what I did is I took my ego out of the equation. So ego stands for edging God out. That's what Wayne Dyer used to say. So when I asked for help in healing the relationship with my mom, suddenly this weight was lifted because I didn't have to have all the answers. See, some of you come to me, you want to know, what should I do for marketing, Susan? What should I do in my business, Susan? What should I do with my mindset, or when I'm stuck, or I need to break through? And you expect me to have a lot of answers, and I lovingly give them to you because I have a wealth of knowledge that I turned into wisdom that I can give you those. But at the end of the day, I had to turn any arrogance I had about having to have all the answers over to God and just say, God, help me to heal this relationship. And here's what happened. It was just beautiful. This book showed up in my life. People showed up in my life. Movies showed up in my life that facilitated that full healing for me. And it was powerful because I asked for it and I surrendered myself to that. Number 4 is scheduling time to clean things up. Okay, don't live in a place of naivete where you're like, oh, I'll just meditate and it's just going to clean itself up all by itself. Yes, you may be an amazing manifestor and that may happen. Your taxes aren't going to do themselves if that's one of your things, right? Your relationship may heal itself with your partner, your spouse, whoever it is, and that could happen. Your health issue might resolve itself. I like to appreciate the term faith without works is dead. When you schedule time to do something, you're actually sending a loud, clear message that says, I'm serious about this. I'm not a dabbler. I'm serious about my healing. I'm serious about my business. I am serious about my health. I am serious about my relationships. I am now serious that I am, and this is going to happen. And so with my mom, when I was in Maui over fall break, I scheduled time every morning. So the kids were sleeping. It was like 4 a.m. and I was getting up and I was journaling. I was, using some of the coaching techniques that I certified in. I was doing all of these things every morning and just going deeper and deeper and deeper. And so I scheduled about 2 hours every single morning. And Maui's a great place to heal, believe me. And I resolved that by the end of that trip, I would just have this beautiful healing, beautiful love over my mom. And, and I know some of you like me have suffered abuse as a child and have had a long history of different things. And, please, just as your sister, friend, mentor from one person to another, healing is possible. It is possible, but it becomes more probable when you schedule time. Just saying I'll deal with it later, if you don't have a date for later, it's not going to happen. And whatever it is, you've got to clean up. So my list, going back to that list of 10 things, I have time scheduled to clean up those very, very specific things. The 5th and final step is to focus on the other side. I had a client once, and she hadn't filed her taxes in 5 years. 5, if you can believe it. And I said to her, sweetheart, I'm not going to lie to you. This is not acceptable. You enjoy roads. You enjoy, she was Canadian, healthcare, all these things. You're obligated to pay your taxes in return. And paying your taxes is a very abundant mindset. It doesn't mean you have to like it, but you have this abundance and say, hey, I know I get to live here. I get to live in a free country. I get to do these things. So I pay my taxes. And in return for that, I get these services, but I get to live here where I can create more freedom. I can create more wealth for myself. That's how it works. And I said, so it's very selfish of you not to do this. So schedule the time. And she kept sending me pictures, and she had spread all of the documents all over. And I said to her, focus on the other side. what is on the other side of this? How are you going to feel? And she's like, relieved. And I said, you know, so in this place where you're feeling relieved, what are some things you're going to do? I'm going to spend more time with my grandkids. I'm going to build my business. And guess what happened? She got it done. It wasn't as painful as she thought it was. It all got resolved. And on the other side, she had more energy. She was having more fun. She built her business. And it's, you know, it doesn't matter the challenging conversations you might need to have, or the extra work you need to have, whatever it is, on the other side of that is freedom. If you've ever taken Organize Your Life with me, I can promise you that when my students, when my clients clean up stuff, that's when more money flows, relationships flow that are awesome, situations arise for them, they find money. That's like all this crazy stuff that happens on the other side of cleaning it up. And the thing I'll say to you is, whatever it is that you've got to clean up, on the other side of this, you're going to have more energy. You're going to sleep better through the night. You're going to feel fantastic. You're going to live into that person that you were destined to be, because we all have a powerful destiny, in order to do the great things. But don't delude yourself and say there's nothing to clean up. We all have things to clean up, myself included. So with that, this has been Bulletproof Monday. I will read all of your comments. If it's been helpful for you, please do share. I would love share on all your social media. I am here every single Monday. I'm doing a series right now. We only have a couple more BPMs before the end of the year, and I'm doing a series on cleaning things up, being intentional, manifesting in 2020, and you know, really coming into that place when January 1st happens, that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I did all this stuff, because I feel incredible. The community membership, as I said, is coming in January. It's going to be absolutely incredible. If you're a small business owner, solopreneur, you're doing a startup, then it's for you. And it is going to be powerful. We are going to have an incredible, incredible 2020. If you would like to connect with me, go ahead, comment here. You can always tweet on me, Susan_Sly at Twitter, on Instagram at Susan Sly, LinkedIn, Susan Sly. So with that, God bless. You're amazing. Go have an incredible week, and I will see you next Monday. Goodbye, everyone.